Don't stop, we're in luck now. Don't stop, there's so much to be found. We can find paradise. All we have to do is go, go free your soul. Dragon Soul.
So, I've got a serious question. How do you make a movie with not one, not two, but 3 Super Saiyans boring? How do you accomplish that? How do you take a movie with 3 Super Saiyans? Boring. Well, this one sure found a way to do it. Let's talk about Super Android 13. What's up, what's happening? Welcome back to Animation Station, and myself, DJ Pranting and Everything Animation. Welcome to my review of one of the worst movies in the franchise. It's not technically a bad movie, but even Tree of Might was better than this. I'm going to try to make this one quick, so let's just go through the summary, voice acting, written review, etc., because I don't like this one, and I really want to move on to the next one as fast as possible, okay? So let's just get it over with. The film opens with the introduction showing the death of Dr. Gero at the hands of Android 17, which was actually from the Android saga, but we'll get there when we get there. But it's cool to see it in a more cinematic way with the different lighting and everything, so that's fine. Gero's leaking blood reveals that Dr. Gero's supercomputer is still working on 3 new androids, 13, 14, and 15. And that's all the explanation you're gonna get. In West City, Chi-Chi is shopping with Goku and Gohan. Oolong, Master Roshi, Krillin, and Future Trunks are standing in line for a pageant that displays the world's most beautiful women. The 2 groups meet up at some point and start to dine together. Meanwhile, 14 and 15 show up in the city and start causing havoc while trying to find Goku. They happen upon him eating and throw a combined ki blast at his general area, and then Goku and the others save the people from being killed. Why is this in the movie? It barely serves any purpose whatsoever. I mean, yes, it's funny that Future Trunks tags along with Oolong, Krillin, and Master Roshi for what's, one of their adult content pervy things, but he's just there because it was either that or shop with Goku. And again, why is shopping a part of this movie? Is that what you want to see in a Dragon Ball movie? People just shopping the whole time? Like, come on, man. You could have come up with a much better intro than that. I mean, at least with, say, Cooler's Revenge, for example. They were out camping. It made sense for them, to be in that situation, because they were out camping and Cooler hunted them down. Makes sense. Or in Dead Zone, Gohan gets kidnapped by Garlic Jr. and takes him to his realm and his castle, so Goku goes to save him. Makes sense. Start of this movie, shopping mall, and then just instantly, without any transition whatsoever, just immediately jump into the fight with the androids. Seriously? You couldn't have come up with something better than that? Really? Freaking stupid. Immediately, Goku tells Gohan to take Chi-Chi to safety and has Krillin do the same with the civilians. Goku takes them away from the city, noticing that they're only after him. Makes sense. Goku then asks who they are, noting that he cannot sense their energy, and recognizes them as 2 of Gero's androids due to the presence of apparel on their outfits bearing the red ribbon logo. I do like how that ties back into the original Dragon Ball, though. That's cool. Both androids introduce themselves and start to attack Goku, and both of them have very stupid voices. No offense to the voice actors, they did a solid job, but the voices they were told to do are bad. We're not even to the worst one. We'll get there when we get there. Trunks shows up to help Goku and tells him to leave the city to avoid causing more casualties. So we get a little bit of fighting in the city, which is a nice change of pace from the other movies, but it doesn't even last a full 10-15 minutes before they fly off to the Arctic. And fighting at the Arctic is cool. Like, the final battle in this movie is great, it has great action, but everything surrounding it is the problem. Goku and Trunks leave for an uninhabited Arctic area with 14 and 15 following. Elsewhere, Gohan leaves Chi-Chi in a safe area. Nice that he stands up to her for once. Flying back to help his dad, although not before he sternly and bluntly asks his mother whether his studies or Goku's survival against the androids matter more when she tries to stop him. Good. About time you stand up to your mom. Krillin is comically pressured by Chi-Chi to do the same. That's nothing new, that's fine. It's not that funny, but it's fine. Goku and Trunks fight the two androids with a slight edge to the villains, because they have their fighting style and everything else in their database. Android 13 then appears and explains that the three of them were created to kill Goku. They will do the same to anyone who gets in their way. Android 13. I have questions about this character. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent again, but this part just really annoys me. I have a bone to pick with Android 13 himself. First, his design. It is stupid. Like, not like the goofy kind of stupid from like the original Dragon Ball. Not that kind of enjoyably stupid. I mean, it's just stupid for the sake of being stupid. Like, really? The trucker hat, the freaking long white hair, the earring, the weird jacket thing, like, really? The design is stupid, that's all I'm saying. The design is stupid. But not as stupid as his personality and his voice, because he's a Southern stereotype. You know, like those really bad parodies that some people do of, like, how a Southerner talks and speaks and acts, and it's made to be actually offensive. This is like that. Because it is offensively bad. Because, like, it just feels like a parody of Southern Americans. It doesn't feel like it's trying to actually, embody the personality and the values and anything like that of the Southern people. And I have a lot of respect for Southerners. But this movie apparently does not, because this guy is just a cliche stereotype. He is absolutely unbearable every second he's on screen. And almost every word that comes out of his mouth is just a Southern cliche. Like, get yourself an ass whooping, boy. Like that kind of stupid crap. Like, something that I would do if I'm making fun of a movie and trying to do a terrible pun. That's how bad the Southern dialect is in this movie. And more of the fact, why is it even in this movie in the first place? I mean, this is made in Japan. This takes place in somewhere other than Southern America. It's dumb. It's so freaking dumb. No offense to the voice actor, but Super Android 13 has always been a terrible villain, and he will always be a terrible villain. The voice sucks, the personality is cliche, and he's offensive to all Southern North Americans. Screw 13, one of the worst villains in all the movies, and of the entire franchise, period. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Dude, seriously ticks me off. 13 starts to fight Goku, leaving future Trunks to fight both androids alone. Not even close to fair. Goku and 13 exchange blows, with 13 slowly gaining the upper hand. Future Trunks is also being beaten by 14 and 15's teamwork, and that's when Vegeta arrives on the scene to fight. He makes the point that he's doing this so that he himself can kill Goku. Because this is before the two of them actually, reconciled and whatever else. This was when Vegeta was still teetering the line between being a hero and just a straight-up villain. But he gets a great intro in this movie, too. He saves Goku from one of 13's giant red energy balls. I forget what they even call it because I don't even care. And then the giant glacier behind Goku just splits apart, and he just flies up with those crossed arms and that same signature cocky smirk. Like, Vegeta's appearance in this movie is great. Like, he gets a great introduction, and while he doesn't get that much screen time, he's still really cool. And he has a really funny line at the end of the movie that I'm going to talk about later. But, yeah, Vegeta's definitely one of the pluses of this movie. He gets a great introduction, and he does what he can. He has a pretty good fight. 15 begins to fight Vegeta while 14 fights Trunks, leaving 13 to fight Goku. Gohan and Krillin arrive as well and take cover while watching the fights. Gohan wants to help, but Krillin pulls him back, telling him that they don't have the strength necessary to fight them. Makes sense. Because this is before Gohan was also a Super Saiyan, so this is before Cell games. The battle continues with the androids initially winning. Knowing that they can't win this way, Goku, Vegeta, and Future Trunks all transform into Super Saiyans. Future Trunks dashes at 14 with a sword in his hand as Piccolo arrives to assist Goku in his fight. 14 rushes at Future Trunks but ends up being sliced in half by Future Trunks' sword. Yeah, these villains suck, but they get some pretty great deaths. I love the death of 14, where Trunks just slashes him in half with his sword and he starts running. And then as he's running, he splits in half. His eyes go wide for a second, and then he explodes and dies. Like, I love that kind of brutal stuff in Dragon Ball. And then, of course, Vegeta absolutely destroys the other one. Destroys 15. Yep. At the same time, Vegeta punches 15, decapitating him, and he explodes and dies. 13, who has been fighting on par with Super Saiyan Goku, sees his allies beaten. Parts of 14 and 15 rise from the ground and fly towards the smiling android. He observes the components resulting in his transformation into Super Android 13. And apparently, somehow, some way, I don't even know how, this design is somehow even stupider. Like, not even, again, just stupid for the sake of being stupid, not enjoyably Dragon Ball stupid. Like, really, the blue with the gray pad, like, gray, like, pads at parts or something, and then the yellow eyes, and especially that weird orange hair. Like, it's dumb. It is so dumb. It's one of the worst designs in Dragon Ball. Like, oh, I hate 13. He's a terrible villain. I hate his design. Moving on. With his new transformation, and 13's power and his stupidity increases very greatly, changing the battle's outcome yet again. The Z fighters attack but are easily beaten. Knowing there is no way they can beat them by themselves, Goku prepares a spirit bomb after being launched into the cold ice sea depths of the Arctic Sea, underneath the ice. Meanwhile, Vegeta tries to stop the android, angrily telling him that Goku's his alone to kill, but he gets blasted by an energy wave and then gets his back nearly broken as Android 13 tries to rip off Bane. It's as stupid as it sounds. Using his remaining energy, Future Trunks attacks 13, but his sword breaks in the process, of course, and he gets blasted by an energy wave as well, that he somehow survives. Super Android 13 charges an SS Deadly Bomber. Oh, that's what it's called? Oh my god, even the name of the attacks are stupid. And Piccolo tries to stop him, but he fails just like the others. Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan and absorbs the finished Spirit Bomb's energy into his body. This is the best part of the movie. The remaining ice is destroyed around him as the land 13 is standing on rises as a single pillar. Goku then destroys 13 with a punch through the chest, after giving him a look of pure anger, so filled with rage that it's going to haunt your nightmares. That's why it's the thumbnail for this video, because I'm an evil douche. And if it haunts my nightmares, it's haunting yours too. Deal with it. As Android 13, 14, and 15 are ultimately destroyed, Dr. Gero's supercomputer shuts down for good, and Funimation dub while shouting the words, "Goku must die." Can you get any more corny? In the end, Goku and his friends are healing in the hospital, but Piccolo and Vegeta are comically sitting back to back on a small portion of ice in the sea, isolated from the celebration. I gotta talk about this funny ending real quick. Like, this is one of the funniest parts of the movie, if not the funniest part. Like, everyone else is in the hospital having a celebration, healing up, and then you have Piccolo and Vegeta just sitting on this little piece of ice floating on the sea that's now thawed out because of Goku's Spirit Bomb. And Piccolo asks Vegeta, "Is it over?" And then Vegeta's immediate response: "Not until the fish jumps. It's over." Until the fish jumps? Really, Vegeta? Not until the fish jumps. That's one of the funniest, most underrated lines that's ever come out of Vegeta's mouth. So, yep, that's Super Android 13. The story sucks. It's almost a complete and total mess. It's saved by great action, pretty much. So, once again, how do they manage to make 3 Super Saiyans in one movie end up being a boring movie is beyond me. But yeah, it has its moments. I love the finisher, love the finale. That's a really good part, and it ends on a really funny line. But outside of that, the rest of the movie's pretty much a waste. So yeah, stupid. Okay, cast list: Sean Shelma, Goku, Stephanie Nadoni, Gohan, Christopher Sabat, Piccolo, Sonny Strait, Krillin, Eric Vale, Future Trunks. I'll talk more about him when we get to the Android Saga. Christopher Sabat, Vegeta, Mike McFarlane, Master Roshi, Cynthia Cranch, Chi-Chi, Brad Jackson, Oolong. Chuck Huber, Android 13. He's a good voice actor. I've seen some of his other work, but here he... Sorry, dude. Your performance here was bad. And it wasn't your fault. It was the bad direction that you were given. 14's voiced by Chris Rager. He does fine. And then 15's voiced by Josh Martin. He's fine. Dr. Giro's Kent Williams, he's fine. And then Kyle Herbert is back as the narrator, who knocks it out of the park as always. Anything else I can really talk about with this movie? Nope, that's about it. So, that's the stupid story. That's some of the cool moments and the funny moments. That's the voice acting. Let's just go straight to the written review and the final verdict. Great action, good voice acting, solid dialogue, with the exception of some really stupid lines. Pretty much everything that comes out of 13's mouth specifically. Some funny moments, decent runtime, a great final battle with an enjoyably brutal finisher, one of the best in the franchise. I'm not even going to try to argue that. Great Arctic setting while also having a nice little mini fight in the city, which is cool. And some cool ideas. Not to mention also the movie debut of Future Trunks, which is a plus. He's a fan favorite character. He's among my top 5 favorite characters of the franchise. So, seeing him in here is great. And I mean Future Trunks, not little kid Trunks. Entirely different. Unfortunately, though, this one's full of issues and flaws that damage the experience overall. The story is bad. The beginning is extremely boring and completely pointless. The pace drags like a rock until it gets to the actual fights. The villains are terrible, especially 13 himself, who's just an offensively awful southern US stereotype for literally no reason whatsoever. The designs are boring. It completely rips off the Android Saga. The animation, while better than Return to Cooler, is still just okay, with a fair share of errors and character models looking off-model. The writing is lousy, and rewatchability outside the actual battles is cataclysmically low. Overall, this one is a pretty big disappointment. It has its moments and the battles are great, but the majority of it is an absolute bore, despite there being 3 Super Saiyans, which still boggles my freaking mind. Just watch the fights on YouTube, and as well as the far superior DBZ abridged version, because I can't recommend you push yourself through this disappointing and lazy mess, easily among the worst movies of the entire franchise. I literally have nothing more to say. It is a boring movie, it is a lousy movie, and coming off of back-to-back wins with Core's Revenge and Return to Core, I expected much more. Especially when you throw 3 freaking Super Saiyans in one movie. That should be an instant win, but instead you found a way to make it boring. And because of that, you get a final verdict of a disappointing, average, sleep-inducing 5 out of 10. A complete bore, don't waste your time. Okay. That's the review. I never have to talk about it again outside of the updated tier list, but we'll get there when we get there. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned because I can promise you that the next movie we have to review is far better than that piece of trash. So, stay tuned next time when we take a look at another amazing movie from this franchise, and a movie that I consider among the top 3 of the entire franchise. Yes, even to this very day. So, I'll see you next time for Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. Am I excited to talk about this one? Because this one has 5 Super Saiyans. And it's actually not a boring piece of crap. So, yep, stay tuned for this awesome movie. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jad Small of Animation Station. And, oh, wait, I almost forgot. I gotta tell you guys the next Fortnite NFL game, don't I? Well, I got the actual intro done last night, so I'll just play it here at the end of this video, and then you'll get to see the outro, okay? So, here's the reveal for the next Fortnite NFL. Hope you guys enjoy. And for the rest of you, I'll see you next time for Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. Have a great day, stay Super Saiyan, screw this piece of crap, and peace.